All right, and good day to you. Welcome to the North Florida Prep Report here. Andrew Jupe bringing you the action for you on an exciting day today as we are coming out of week 7 here, the high school football season, and into week 8. So the season is off and rolling so quickly, and it feels like we just got started and just got out of shells here in summer practice, but it is off and rolling. So thanks for coming aboard with us here for a little Tallahassee Tuesday. Here going to be the focus of what we have going on here today. It's going to be part 1 of our installment here, the Tallahassee Tuesday. Going to focus on our LCS schools here. So 5 of the Tally 10 that we have going on here today. But of course, it's going to be an exciting showcase. So I say, no reason to keep you waiting. Let's get into it. Tallahassee Tuesday. All right, so there you can see up, of course, our Tally 10, like we said. So today we're going to focus on the Timberwolves, the Raiders, the Cougars, the Trojans, and the Lions here today. So we'll have a part 2 coming out later in the week, maybe a little Tally Thursday to get your non-LCS schools here into the mix. Of course, the Leon County schools, the big public ones that make up our 5A, 4A, 3A classification teams here for this 2024 football season. So we're going to start up in the higher classifications, of course, Class 5A, here with the Lincoln Trojans. Coming into the week last week, undefeated at 5-0, top-ranked team here in the city, playing arguably one of the best teams in, I'd say, any classification. Right now, they're top 25 in the state, and of course, that's Gadsden County. They just played this past Friday down at Gene Cox Stadium. Fantastic game. Their back and forth affair, everything that you would want from a Friday Night Light situation, fell to the Jaguars, of course, in that 31-21 matchup here, but a hard-fought battle. We saw some sparks here for the defense and the running game, and then you saw the quarterback get going, and, of course, Sims connecting here with Mekhi Maddox, it seems, for his weekly touchdown, but just enough for that Gadsden County rushing game and that Gadsden County defense to surge through. And so, of course, they took the L this past week. Upcoming, they've got the Chiles Timberwolves. Here, as you look at them, another district opponent. So Lincoln earlier has taken down Leon. So this is the de facto district championship. So if Lincoln is able to beat Chiles, they will go ahead and lock up the district once again here between these 3 squads, and they will get the automatic berth in the playoffs. Though, because they've had such a great season so far, you can see down at the bottom the region rank. So, of course, the top 8 would go to the playoffs. So, if the playoffs started today, just based off the raw rankings, so that doesn't include the division standings, which we can get into a little later, they would be in. So right now here in Region 1 of 5A, it's the big 3. You got Niceville, you have Choctaw, and then there's Lincoln. I think those are kind of the upper crust here of what we see in Region 1. So based on what Lincoln's done this far, I don't really think they're at risk here of losing the playoff berth, especially if they can get the automatic bid here come Friday. But once again, if playoffs started today, Lincoln would be in. Moving on, we're going to stay in 5A, go on to the Chiles Timberwolves up on the north side. Of course, a recent loss to Florida High, highly competitive contest. They went back and forth with the Seminoles, who are a really kind of up-and-coming team in 2024. Of course, they were unable to get the win. There was Chiles. The upcoming match against the Lincoln Trojans, like we had just talked about. So, even though it's been a rough season for Chiles, only able to get the 1 win so far, once you get into district play, everything can change. So you just need 1 to go ahead and get it going. Right now, they're sitting at 2nd in the district, of course, out of the 3 teams. And so still an opportunity to chance to maneuver into not only the district, but also the playoffs as a whole. As you can see there, currently their region rank is 9th of 15. So if the season started today, the Chiles Timberwolves would be on the outside looking in. But still an opportunity with some games left to get in. Like we said, also an opportunity in the district here as well. So it's not off the table for Chiles, but it's going to be a tough road, and the schedule is not going to give the Timberwolves any breaks. Next team on the list, we're going to stay in the district, of course. Here, the last team that we have not talked about are the Leon Lions. So, coming off a recent loss to Cairo and that mean rushing attack down there from South Georgia, 35-7 was the L they took this weekend. Upcoming matchup this weekend against another tough run game, really tough run game out there to the west at Marietta with Amari Clemens and the show that they have going on there. Marietta is going to be undefeated coming into this matchup. So don't sleep on them as a smaller classification team. If you've been sticking around the North Florida Prep Report, or any of the content here from the North Florida area, you know Marietta is the real deal. So Leon will get tested. Should be a good test for them this coming Friday. Still an opportunity if things get wild in the district to force a tiebreaker. And so Leon, though it's not been hot so far, you got to believe still an opportunity to finish the season strong. Currently, as you can see, set at the district here in third of those three teams, with, of course, Chiles and Lincoln being the other two. And, of course, unfortunately, last in the district here right now, here for the Leon Lions. But a lot of excitement here down the stretch for them, and still an opportunity to play spoiler here with that matchup in a couple weeks versus Chiles. Next team here on our Tallahassee Tuesday list, of course, is down in the 3A classification. That's the Godby Cougars. Recent win over Baker County, which was a huge one here on Thursday in town. Huge contest that actually propelled them into first in the district, of course, 2-0, and they're going against Wakulla this weekend, their final district opponent. If they can beat Wakulla, they will clinch the district championship and an automatic berth in the playoffs. Having said that, Godby's been playing really well here this season. Of course, coming into this one 4-2 into the weekend. And if the playoffs started today, they would be in anyways. They look like an at-large team, whether they get the district championship or not. Obviously, I'd love for the Cougars to take care of business, wrap it up for them, and keep on rolling here. But things looking solid for the Cougars. Love the defensive playmakers, love the offensive spark this year, and we really got it going on here for the Godby Cougars. So, trending upwards. Final team here on our Tallahassee Tuesday. Of course, last but not least, the Rickards Raiders coming off an odd Wednesday win against Fort Walton Beach. Rickards now improving to 4-2 as well, just like Godby. Of course, the Raiders heading on the road to Fort Walton all the way out west, 17-14, a tight contest. They were able to get the dub, so big time for Rickards. Upcoming game against Choctaw on a Thursday. So currently, they are tied with Choctaw for the district lead at the moment. And I think when you unpack the district and seeing the other two teams in the mix, of course, Arnold, and there is one other one, Fort Walton Beach. Of the four, I think the winner of this game you can project as the district champion. So this isn't the end-all be-all right now. But as it stands, if Rick can get the win against Choctaw, which is a really tough team, they would put themselves in a fantastic position to get the auto bid, lock up the district, take care of business. Having said that, if they aren't able to get Choctaw, of course, still third out of 14th in the region, above that eighth line. They are in great position when you look at the points, when you look at the ranks here in the state of Florida to make the playoffs as an at-large or as a district champion. So if you're a Raiders faithful, you really got to love their chances here down the stretch for the last 4 or 5 weeks of the regular season. Well, I guess it's more week 8, week 9, week 10, week 11. 4 weeks of the regular season. Of course, 3 of those with some district play mixed in there. So Rickards Raiders, Godby Cougars, Lincoln Trojans, if playoffs started today, here for your Tallahassee 10, they are in. Chiles is close. Leon still an opportunity to make some noise. So regardless of your allegiance here for these LCS schools, should be really fun to watch and will be exciting stuff going forward here today. So thank you all for coming aboard here, getting into the mix here for a little Tallahassee Tuesday. Of course, updating of the first part of our installment here of these LCS teams. Rickards, Leon, Lincoln, Godby, and Chiles. Here the update on the North Florida Football Report. I'm Andrew Jupe. Thanks for tuning in. And of course, for those we missed, things that we missed, observations that we missed, don't forget to bang those comments and let us know what we got wrong. Because that's what we do, right? Is we get things wrong. Look forward to the action out here today. Rooting for all of our LCS teams. Take care.